to the panel where we break it all down. Big Easy, Hendo, Kamish, Kings in the sound. CMDL debate, stats stacked to the sky. Top performers on blast, watch them soar high. The panel, reppin' hoops, never miss a beat. Matchups, predictions, bringing the heat. Stats, highlights, the plays we can't avoid. Breaking it all down, passion overflows deployed. CMDO grind, every play analyzed. Hendo got the insight, Kamish strategized. Big Easy's wisdom, sharper than a blade. Dishing out the knowledge, laid like a spade.
Hello, welcome to season 3 of the panel. We've got our regulars on here. Let's say hi to the boys. So we got Carter Hendo. Go ahead, Carter.
What's up? Good to be back. Excited. It's good to be here. Yes, sir.
And we got Cam. What are we going with? Right, Big Easy. So welcome here, Cam.
Hello, good to be back. Call me Player of the Year finalist Cam, please, from now on.
You're
I'd like
finalist.
to be called. That's right.
We're gonna add Junior Commish to that list of names.
Junior
Cam's
Commissioner.
taking on some responsibilities. And again, if you don't know me, Kendall Weens, the commissioner. Cam, let's get right into that. Congrats. That's exciting stuff. Top 10 finalists for Sports Visio. There's some pretty significant leagues that use it, so that's pretty cool. Biggest question I think that everyone's asking, did you nominate yourself?
Of course I did.
Yeah, let's go.
Everyone keeps coming up to me. They're like, Cam, dude, we saw that play. I'm like, I know, dude. I don't know how it got there. It's just like someone put it up, I guess. That was definitely me. I saw the free shoes and I wanted to win them.
Oh man.
I'm surprised they picked it. I wonder how they probably got a lot of clips. So that's cool that they picked it.
Because I think I will say this, I also nominated you. So
Yeah,
you could have said no and
yes.
you would have been fine there.
Dang it. You should have admitted it first, then I wouldn't have had to say anything. No, well.
But when you nominated, you couldn't give the backstory, right? So from just the angle of the shot, I'm surprised that they accepted it. If they knew that like that's the quarterfinal game winner, kicks the other team out of playoffs, that kind of thing, I think then it's worth a lot more. But yeah, still very cool shot.
Yeah, it was awesome. It's cool seeing. And there's like leagues from Ireland and there's an Iceland league in there. I'm like, what the heck? It's so cool.
Yeah, it's all over. Probably some of your old Swedish friends are out there, eh?
Oh, probably.
Swedes,
Cheering me on.
The Swedes.
Right on. Cool.
So if you haven't voted yet, go vote.
Yeah, 100%.
Kendall's voted for me 80 times.
I'm well over 100 at this point. I'm going to be honest.
My wife is like, Cam, let me do it a bunch of times, unprompted. I showed her the clip. She's like, how do I vote? And then she just did it like 30 times. So I'm like, perfect.
That's awesome.
Cracking them up.
Yeah.
I'm just 2 a.m. cuddling with the new babe. She's a week old tomorrow, and I'm just
submitting votes for me. Yes.
Yeah, shout out Kendall, new kid, bro. Shout out Kendall with the new child.
Yes, congrats, Kendall.
Congrats, Kamish.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Alrighty. For those who've never watched the panel, welcome here. Basically, we just hang out, chat about things. Started 3 seasons ago, leading into playoffs. 3 of us thought it'd be fun to talk, and then we said, well, why not record it? And then we said, why not share it with everyone else? And so it's kind of grown into a little more than that. Still, at the end of the day, it's just about us having fun. Yeah, talking about things that are, I don't know, not really of any real importance, but give us a little bit of sense of joy. And it's nice to have that joy in the world we live in. Let's get into rookies. Okay, rookies, we're going to break you down a little bit. Our goal is never to hurt anyone's feelings, but if you're a projected #1 pick kind of thing, we will be a little bit harder on you, especially come the season. So let's start. Carter, you brought in projected top 3, top 5. Go ahead and let's. Who is the guy? Tell me about him.
Yeah, so I mean, the Gibb name is a pretty household name across Lethbridge. So yeah, I brought in Nick Gibb. I was just kind of chilling on my butts one day, and I was like, "Hey, maybe I invite this Nick Gibb guy. He coached me at when I was in like grade 9 at a Kodiak's basketball camp. And I kind of just had I actually just had his Snapchat. So I reached out to him on Snapchat and said, Nick, what do you think? You want to play in a basketball league? And he was like, well, tell me about it. And I was told him the price and he said no. And then I told him who won the MVP last year and he said yes. So he's got that competitive drive. He wants to compete, he wants to win. And so I'm excited to see what he can bring to the table. I know he's got experience in like post-secondary. He played for Concordia for what was it like 2 or 3 years, and that was at the Lethbridge College for a year or two. But yeah, he's a solid player, plays well, shooter. So yeah, I'm excited to see what he can bring. I'd project him in the top 5 for sure.
So that's a bold move, placing your reputation on someone. Like, have you talked to him in the last 5 years or?
Like not really at all. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is gonna be interesting. My little sister dates his little brother. So my little sister said that Nick is just like me as a person, as a human being. And so I'll put my life on the line. I'll put my career in the CMDL basketball league on the line on my sister's vouching for his character. So
Oh man,
Okay. Okay.
it's
That's
confident.
good.
Wow. Okay. Cam, any of those rookies that you want to talk about?
I didn't invite anyone this year. Looking at the list here, Dustin Ledstrom. He subbed a few years back, 2 seasons ago maybe, and he lit up every time he came in for as a sub. He cooked. So I'm excited to see what he does. Another shooter. Be nice to have another elite shooter in the league other than myself and Tyron. Who else here? Makesa Galmo. I used to play intramurals with him at the U. Dude's knockdown shooter. One time I think at an intramural game he hit like 15 threes. He looked like Carter in that one pre-draft game. Just cooking.
Going
So
on.
I want to see what he brings. He's good.
Does he
Bit of a
does he play defense like a 3-and-D kind of guy, hustle guy? What's he giving us beyond 3-point shooting?
He'll hustle. A little undersized, so we'll see how that holds up against some of the bigger guards like Bari and Carter. But kind of a green light, just like Lasecki.
Uh,
He'll let it fly when he touches it, I think, from what I remember. I don't know. What else stands out? I know Billy invited Zach, Many Gray Horses. That kid's a shooter too. Just knocked down. So I'm excited to see what he does too. I see him ball at the Y all the time. So
yeah,
there's some good players coming in. It's pretty cool.
Zach's smooth. Coached
Yeah, he is
against
smooth.
him. Obviously he coached or he had Billy and Barry coaching him, so IQ probably won't be quite there. Not like the kid Andrews crew, but I wasn't against you, Zach. That was Billy and Barry. But no, real nice guy and smooth ball player. So looking forward
Yeah,
to. We
he's
tried
sick.
adding
Yeah,
him
he's
last
sick.
season, just couldn't make it work.
Yeah, cool.
Who else we got on there? Couple guys coming from subbing. So you got Jared Alexander. He had some big games. He's good for what? I'd say an average of 18 points, 18 rebounds kind of guy. Like maybe not
Yeah, big
average
rebound,
20
heavy
points.
rebounder, and he gets
Yeah,
scores inside really
yeah.
nicely. Yeah,
And efficient, very efficient when he was out. He's going to be a nice addition, skilled big man. His brother, Joel Alexander, um, he's solid. Doesn't impact the game quite the way Jared does, but he can stretch the floor. He's got that lefty, right? He got that big reach,
mm,
and so you're when he's attacking, you're thinking I'm all over this, and all of a sudden he reaches all the way out. And then he's got some nice little post moves. So um,
yeah,
if you utilize him the right way, I think he could be a nice steal a little bit later in the draft there. Uh,
yeah. True. Who else here? I've played with a few rookies in the open runs over the winter here. Andrew seems like a hustle guy.
mhm.
Seems like he'll go out and get your rebounds and play defense, and that's always, I think, needed on some teams. Um,
Reminds me of Scott, right? We're losing Scott this year, but Andrew, just that stocky, athletic guard.
Yeah.
Can pick you up full court, I imagine, and just really annoy the heck out of you. So,
That
Yeah.
sounds horrible. That sounds awful.
Just don't be so good, Carter, and then you won't draw all the tough assignments, you know?
Jordan's the shooter, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I really like him. I think he'll be great for where he ends up probably going in the draft. I really admire the way he plays. He's very good. So would love to be on a team with him, but if it doesn't happen, he's just going to be a
Keep br-
great player for any
yeah,
team.
keep bringing in the older guys. They bring some IQ.
Yeah.
They also bring no verticals. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see if any GMs kind of swing young or swing older to get kind of those smarts like Bob and Tim and Jordan and stuff like that. But I feel like the young guys who can run forever might have an advantage there.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see.
It's funny, Jordan. So last season we had him subbing. I teach a soccer option over at the rec center. I was supposed to be teaching, and we were getting a little scrimmy going at that point. And I see this guy over there, and just like 20 minutes, he didn't miss. Like, didn't matter where he was shooting from, he wasn't missing. So then, as the students are going to change, I just go over, introduce myself, say, "Hey, when are you joining the league?" Basically, got him in a week or two later as a sub, and then got him in now. Found out that he's a rider. So his little brother Logan was a Butte guy when Kate Andrews and Butte had a little bit more of a rivalry. Obviously, Butte's kind of not great anymore. But yeah, that was the Logan, the Bergen Henning-Gowan, all those guys.
Oh.
That was we had to triangle to them. We had to play a triangle two. It was we still didn't touch them, but we tried.
Kendall, I don't even know what a triangle two looks like, dude. Grew
You
up
know
in
you know what a box one is, right?
yeah, I do know what a box one is. Growing up at a good old St. Mary's, you go into a 2-3 or a man-to-man. Coach says, go man or go 2-3. There you go.
We
That's what we did.
Go ahead, Ken.
We didn't play defense in high school. We just did full court press for 40 minutes a game. That was our defense.
It's a way to do it, man.
The best defense.
If I'm ever GMing again, that's what I'm bringing into the league. No more just bringing it up. No, Carter's not just bringing it up the floor anymore. He's getting full court press the whole way.
Do you think that, like, so say you draft young and then you get a couple, you get like you get Logan in there, and then some young guys who can just run. Do you think you could actually press and be successful?
I think so. Dude, do you know how many turnovers there already are in men's league? You could turn over a team so often. Maybe less so against a team like with Billy or someone like that, you know, who can kind of organize his team on the fly. But if you go up against an unorganized team, I feel like you would take advantage of that
I don't know. I think there's
pretty
enough
successfully.
guys who can enough guys who can break that down, and
I don't know. That's asking a lot
yeah.
of Carter. Yes.
Josiah, I like him as a person. Good friends with him. I'm excited to see where he kind of goes, where he falls. Um,
Yeah, he subbed for us a few times last season, right?
yeah, he's a
Once or
fun
twice. He's
kid.
a baller.
He's
Yeah.
solid. Big rebounder too. Like he gets after those O boards in the last run. He was there last pickup ball, and he's
He's
getting
got some
hot, too.
hops.
Getting up to the rim, pulling those boards down.
Yep.
Decent range. So high energy guy. He's. I think he's a tough one though. He's probably like, I don't know. You see that maybe in the third round, probably all of a sudden he goes fourth, and he's a massive steal, but much
Yeah.
earlier than that, not really sure. But
Hmm.
he'll be a real nice pickup, I think.
Also heard really good things about Ruben. I've never seen him play. Obviously, I see his stature. He's a tall, stocky, strong man. Was stocky strong? Is that correlate?
That's fine. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, that sounds right. Okay. Ruben, obviously, yeah, his stature's big, and so I wondered how he plays. I've heard really good things. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But
Another post-secondary guy, right? I think he played at the college with Jackson for a little while there. So obviously can ball. Yeah, obviously he's gonna be good. Another top five for sure, right? If not MVP candidate.
Cool. I liked Isaiah's boy. He brought in Nathan.
Mhm.
Kind of does everything. Rebounder. He can finish really well. I don't think he hit too many threes when we played in that open run, but I know he can shoot them. I've seen him hit them before, so I think he's kind of that all around guy you're looking for in the middle
I think
slash upper
also
end of the draft.
also, and it's hard to tell from one run, but not a guy who's going to waste shots, right? Like
Yeah,
he
yeah,
can score, but it's when it's open, it's when it's a good choice to take that shot or to attack.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I liked him. He's going to be a nice role player there for sure. Tyson Levitt. Have you guys ever seen the guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Um, older guy, not old, but older. Kind of Tim's range probably. Big bodied. He does some nice moves in the post. Likes to shoot, from what I remember. So if you want a big man who gets shots, just pair him up with Braden, and then you're fine. Just toss the ball down low and let him go.
Cam, you love Braden, dude. You love him.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
He's
it's
coming
true.
off a week of playing with him, right? So
Braden. Yeah, we're gonna be teammates. We're gonna be teammates this year, and we're gonna take the league.
That's right.
Yeah, but Tyson's a really nice guy. He's awesome.
so
He
yeah,
comes and gets waffles from me at Sonder all the time.
nice.
Yeah, Cam, you barely put any bacon on the waffles, dude. You barely put any
You
like
you've
substance on the
never ordered a
waffles, dude.
waffle in your entire life. You come in,
Dude,
you get a bagel. You get a bagel. Don't even say I
actually,
don't
yeah,
put
on
bacon
the
on the
bagels, you
waffles.
put no bacon, dude. There are like 2 strips on there. I'm paying $10 for what? For freaking
Three
what?
strips of bacon,
I can make these at
house-made,
home.
house-made bagels. How about you just enjoy it and stop complaining?
It's ridiculous, man. I
Kendall,
thought
all Carter
like
does,
it.
he brings his dates into Sonder and he's starts crap talking me in front of his dates, and he's like, "Oh, no bacon, dude. This London fog is trash." It's like, oh my gosh,
Dude, that's
can't
not
win
true,
with this guy.
man. That's not true. I like the London fogs, bro.
Oh
Next
man.
time you're there, I'll put extra bacon on for you. Okay, get that sodium level up.
Thank you, bro. I
Yeah.
We
appreciate
need to
that.
get some protein in you.
Thank
See,
you,
I don't
bro.
know about this conversation right now. Seems like a Saunders plug, and I don't see Saunders as a league sponsor. I don't think we can be talking about them on the panel yet. So
True that. I'll have to lay down some groundwork there, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, that
dude.
works.
Damn, what the heck?
Yeah. On that note, I do think we should take a moment to celebrate our sponsors. So we're going to shout out one sponsor. First, I think it was the first one to come in this year. We got Five Sons Transloading. So Austin Murray brought them on. That like grain terminal in Coldell. You guys, when you drive by on right on the highway,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
love
them.
that
So
terminal. Yeah,
Let's go, Austin.
it's my
thanks,
favorite
Austin, bringing them
terminal.
on. In-person draft sponsor is kind of the focus for him. So making sure that we didn't have to add any costs to bring that in-person draft. So
Cool.
pretty excited to have that, and yeah, gonna be cool.
Let's go.
All right, we got two more rookies. We got Tanner Murray. Speaking of the Murrays, I guess another one of the Murray brothers. I don't know anything about him. I thought he said he played U of L at one point. Have you guys ever seen the guy?
Nope. Total wild card.
Dark horse. We will say, I'll say it this way, maybe get a little bit of a brotherly competition going. So Tanner, when hopefully you're watching this, when Austin recommended for you for the league, he rated you to go in the same draft round as himself. So that says something. Either he thinks too highly of himself, or too highly of you, or too low of you. So little friendly competition there to see who goes higher and who deserves to go higher.
Nice. Love it.
And lastly, we got Sebastian. So Sebastian,
Seabass!
wow,
Bring
2
him
seasons.
back. He cooked Carter a few seasons ago, dude.
Yeah, right, dude. What? Because I'm small?
He came in, he's 15, and he just dominated you.
Dude. Yeah. I like Seabass.
Shout out Kloss.
Shout out Claus. Shout out Claus. Seabass is great, man.
So how early does Klaus draft his own son?
Do you think he
You think
would, or
Kloss
he'd be
goes
like,
his
I'm
son?
gonna teach my kid a lesson here and let him just fall in the draft to get drafted
Oh.
by somebody else?
No, you're driving in from Tabor. You got to be trying to set this up so you're driving together.
Oh, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's a good
I
point.
guess that
Good
makes
thoughts,
sense.
Kendall. Yeah.
So he better take him early. Kloss, don't take him too early. If you need him, you can trade for him after the draft. Otherwise, you're not going to win again.
Yeah, I want to see him take him and then trade him away. Just like goodbye. You're doing it for our squad.
I
That'd be
want
the best thing ever. That'd actually be the best thing ever.
That was my plan with Carter going into last season, but they never materialized.
Clearly wasn't, dude. You had to hang on to me, bro.
Dude, I offered you for cash considerations and no one wanted it. No one even picked up the
Dude,
phone.
I got offers, man. You said no,
No,
no.
you
I gotta
got
hang
no
on to him.
offers.
I gotta hang on to him, man. I can't
No,
let
you
him.
got no offers.
Oh man, love it. Cool. All right. Couple guys returning. We won't really break them down, but again, Carson Barch, Kyle Mitchell, Quinn Lanier, Nate Shipton, Carl Petker,
Quinn's back too, hey? Let's go.
coming back.
I
Yeah.
like Quinn. Yeah.
So yeah, should be. You think about those names that we talked about and like that competition level. Again, every year seems to be going a little bit higher. And I think this will be another one of those years where there's just another step up. But hopefully, again, as always, that culture aspect. How do we keep that positive culture? And I think from the guys that I know, they'll fit right in. So it'll be good.
How about the fact that there's only 7 OGs left in the league?
That is
That's
that is
crazy.
sad. That is sad. I
7
will
guys from the
say.
first season of this league. There's only 7 guys left.
And let's speak about that a little bit different though. So like, because that sounds like we're just hemorrhaging guys, which isn't great. I don't love that.
Yeah, whenever someone beats Kendall in a championship game, they're out.
They're
Like you're
gone.
dropped from the league just
They're gone.
because
I,
he has
I
to
don't
win.
I don't get beat in championship games. Sorry, man.
Oh right, you don't make it there. That's right.
Yeah, semifinals I get beat, but finals if I'm there, call me MJ. That means no, never mind. I was gonna say we can call Justin Surface LeBron. He gets there but doesn't win, but he's proven that he wins games now,
He
so
can get
Yeah.
there.
yeah, he's in the talk for the GOAT. But so that first season was 15 guys playing pickup ball. So half of those guys are about still in. Devo was one of those guys, but then he missed one season, so he lost that label. But yeah,
Look,
just over
look at me
time.
coming up in veterans. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
Old veteran. Where's Carter? Oh, he's a veteran too?
That's right.
Wow.
Cam, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me, hey?
I would have found my way in anyway. I didn't need you.
Alrighty.
Fair enough.
Let's just break down the draft a little bit, how things work for new people. So for end of January, we're gonna have a little draft lottery for our GMs. I got 9 GMs. I think they are all chosen now. I'll share those kind of on Instagram throughout the next little while. But we'll do draft lottery to decide who picks where. It starts with a snake draft. At that point, they will have a pick swap season. So for about a week in February, about a week in February, they'll be able to trade those picks. Some people go high, some people go low, some people just keep it spread out. And then pick swap season closes, and then it reopens when our preseason scrimmages open up. So on that kind of March 23rd to March 30th. And then obviously draft night, March 30th. So make note that those games are shifted early, right? The first game I think is at about 1-ish. We play all 4 games, and then we'll meet in that breakout room and have the draft with hopefully all 63 guys there. The more the merrier. That's kind of the big picture. I wanted to ask you guys, so you've both been GMs, some more successful than others.
Carter's talking about
What's
you.
been your strategies? So let's start, Cam. You've been it twice now. What were your strategies going in? Give some advice to our new GMs.
My strategies were try and stay young. We had a little bit of an older roster last season, but that was fine. And also, both years I traded out of the first round. Didn't want that first round pick. I loaded up in kind of the second and third, and then I had Usually one extra pick in the last round or the second to last round. So ended up with a few players down there, but loading up in that and in middle of 2 to the middle of 3 range is kind of what my strategy was. I've made it to the semis both years, so did okay. Last season, I think we're just missing that go-to guy. Carter, tried his best, but
This
I'm
is
just kidding.
unreal, dude. You were on the team too. Clearly, you weren't the go-to guy either.
Clearly not, obviously, because I never touched the ball. I'm just kidding, you guys. And so that's kind of been my strat. It's worked out pretty well. I think a few different trades could have changed the outlook. I think my first year's GM, that trade in the middle, one of the few GMs who has made an in-season trade, and I think that kind of lopsided our season. But yeah, that's kind of been my experience with it. Gets a little crazy during pick swap season. Try not to get fleeced. If you need advice on if you're going to get fleeced or not, text me, because Kendall will fleece you, even though he's not the GM. He's the commissioner. But he'll figure out a way to be on the best team somehow.
We didn't win last year, so obviously not, but maybe
so that's kind of been my experience.
Maybe Jackson just didn't listen to me enough, right? Maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe that's right. He's just like disregarded you. But
Jackson,
I think this year,
do what I say.
Yeah. If I was a GM this year, I think I'd just do the same strategy again, because there's a lot of higher end talent. 2 or 3 guys who are coming in who are pretty awesome. And that kind of shifts everyone down around a little bit. So I think if you loaded up on seconds, early thirds, I think you could build a pretty good squad if you wanted to trade out of the first round. I would recommend being in that top 3, top 2, or getting out of there and just kind of doing your thing through the second and third, or in the middle of the draft, because there's some steals there. And watch for the new guys too. Sometimes people don't pay attention to the new guys, but that's usually the teams who win usually have some new guys on them.
Yeah. I think that'd be my biggest piece of advice. So when I won, was it 3 seasons ago now? I had, I think 5 new guys or 6 new guys. I think 5. The second year that I won, Barch and Bob, my 2 top guys, were new guys. Then last season, you look at Billy, he won with what? Who do you all have? Chase, Frank,
JVB,
Dylan, like who else was on that squad there? Maines was a regular,
Maines?
but like those new guys is where you get way more value than maybe you everyone else thought you should. So with again how many new guys we got coming in, if you think about the new guys and returning guys who maybe some people forgot about, that's we're about 19 guys who weren't here last year. Like that's what, about 30% of the league is new. So there's opportunities to sneak guys in under the radar. That's huge. Carter, what did you learn from your experience?
tell us how you did both seasons first.
He only did one.
Oh, you only
I
did
did
one
one.
season?
Yeah.
I
One
did.
and
I
done.
GM 1 season. I didn't do so well. Finished last place. I mean, I messed up in a few ways for sure, but yeah, I lacked kind of a star rebounder with me and Jax, maybe I'd say. And I just couldn't kind of get that chemistry going, I guess, with the squad amongst the team. And I made some questionable decisions in the middle of the draft as well. Yeah, I had a guy.
Didn't.
Wait, let me speak, bro. Let me talk. I had a guy. I had a guy leave mid-season, unfortunately,
true.
which was
That's true.
hard. And so yeah, I've made a few mistakes as GM. Maybe one day I'll return, but one thing that I'd say to all the GMs is those middle round, late round, if you can find a steal in there, that can be a huge difference maker. I feel like the difference maker for Billy's team last year, obviously his stars were great, himself, Justin, Chase, but JVB and Matt Maines really stepped up at the end of that. And so
Yeah.
I feel like if you can hit on those guys in the later rounds and they can contribute and play a good role, I think that makes a huge difference. But yeah, that's what I'd say.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say, Carter. Go ahead, Kendall.
no, you're good.
I was just gonna say he didn't scout Clay Penner's ankles enough to take him in the fourth there, take him in the third round. You got to
I
do
love
some more
Clay
injury
Pendy.
scouting, okay? You got to ask him what's your injury history. Get him to a doctor and get a medical report done,
Yeah,
okay?
get the physical.
There's cotton candy in between his ankle bone and his foot, dude.
Cotton
I don't
candy.
know.
Oh man, it's so tough because like I agree, Carter. There, like those what fourth through sixth round picks are so important, but you also you want someone who can contribute, but not going to waste shots, right? Not going to take shots from your top two, top three guys. And so finding the guys that fill those roles, um, yeah, just trying to look at a couple from that list. Like you have your Mark Baltazar, the dream to get that late, right? Because he's just going to do what you need him to do. Um, who else? Like an Ezra Vanderbeek is great there too. JVB, Maines is great there. I think Frank steps up this year and fills into that role a little bit more, right? But if you can find the right guys that mesh and get that chemistry going, that in those 4 through 6 rounds, very important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so GMs, if you want to have a decent team, and you got to come to all the pre-draft and watch most of the games, I would say,
Yeah.
to kind of get that sense. The star guys might not try as hard. I don't know. Carter did hit 15 threes one time,
I
but
try really hard. I try really, really
you
hard.
do try really hard. But you got to kind of watch for those role guys who kind of just even in a pre-draft game when everyone's trying to show out, who still pass, who still rebound and play defense. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, it's still easy to see chemistry, even if they're not trying all that hard. You can see how they're gonna react with other players. So
Mark is like Southern Alberta Hubs Josh Hart. That's what he
Yeah,
is.
dude, he's the best, man. Yeah. I
Joey,
like it Mayo,
Joey's
dude.
another one in there. Joey's another deadly guy
Joey,
in
yeah.
there.
He was like top 5 in offensive rebounding and like top 10 in regular rebounding. Ridiculous.
All
Carter, are you
right.
locking on defense this year or what?
No,
You're not?
probably not.
Hey, number one in steals, man.
Yeah, it's all of Tim's hard. All of mine and Tim's
It
hard
was
work.
not. It was not all of your hard work, Cam.
Yes,
Definitely not
Carter.
all
You
of
know
your
I
hard
can play
work, dude.
defense if I
Dude,
lock
I
in.
remember Isaiah Klemic dogging you in the semifinal game. You said, "Let me take him." I got Isaiah. I
That
got
doesn't
Isaiah.
sound familiar.
I'll
I'm
remember
pretty
that.
sure I guarded him one time and then he hit a 3 and then Scott's like, Cam, get your head out of your butt, dude.
Oh
Uh,
man. Alrighty. Let's what do we want to get into? New features. Anything that we want to see come to the league this season or in the future? When I started the league, thoughts of like what we could do, and in-person draft was like the last key thing that I wanted to have. So at this point, sorry, can you guys see me there still? I just lost my feed. There we go.
Yeah, we see ya.
At Now that we have the in-person draft, my like big vision items are basically checked off. So now if we're gonna do any major changes, it's gonna come from the people. So is there anything that you guys can think of that you're like, hey, we got to see this at some point?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to see where it's gone. You know, I remember my first year, I was watching the game film and recording every player on my team. I was recording their stats
Hmm.
with a pen and paper, and then we got sports Visio and in-person draft is coming, and yeah, it's just sweet. I love where it's at. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I got a little something, I guess, that might be cool. I don't know where we're kind of going. Like, there's a lot of players in the league. Is it 63 this year?
Yeah, 63
Yeah,
total.
63. At what point could we bring in like a all NBA or not all NBA, all CMDL like defensive team, you know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
cool, interesting little stuff like that, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And like
Yeah,
and an extension of that would be like an awards night, I guess. But I don't know. That's just kind of like a throwing it out there. But
that would be cool. That would be cool.
future of the league and like expanding, I don't know. Something like that.
And that all defense, like that's easy. That's just based on you extend that voting, right? We have D poise, so you extend that, and then you have an all defensive team.
Yeah,
So
because it is getting large, right? Every year it gets a little bit harder to be an all-star.
yep.
Gets a little bit harder to, you know, keep competing with all the top guys and staying up there in that pie rankings. And yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah, the end of season all-star night. That could be one that kind of we'll have to see kind of how the in-person draft goes, see how that builds into the community. And if that's something that is like a big hit, then we consider doing essentially the same thing after the finals, right? Maybe you have the finals at 6 till 7:15, and then we hit that breakout room, get some pizza, do awards, have kind of find a closing ceremony, if you will. Um, but yeah, definitely worth
That would
considering.
require people coming out to watch the finals. So
Mhm. Yeah.
we gotta find a way to maybe that's incentive enough
Yep. Yeah.
to get people to come out and
You
There was a
only you
pretty good
only
showing
get
last year.
your sorry, go ahead, Carter.
No, all I said was there was a pretty good showing last year. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty all right.
Um, just gotta put all the rules in that you don't get your award unless you're there. And so like you miss
yeah.
out on your $50 gift card or whatever because you didn't show up because you were
If you
sad.
don't show up to get your MVP award, it's going to junior commissioner.
That's how you get paid.
Yeah, that's right. I get paid in MVPs. And you're not allowed to put a little asterisk next to my name in the league records.
Love it. Cool. Any projected breakout seasons? Anyone that you're like, hey, they were fine last year, but they're going to take it to the next level? I think I already talked about Frank. I think he's going to be one of those guys that like you see him, you see what he's capable of the odd time in pickup runs. Once that confidence is there, I think he could be a move up a good round and a half. Depending again if he can do that continuously. Any thoughts for you guys?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the list here.
It's an interesting thought for me. I feel like Conrad coming back as a GM, if he surrounds himself with the right pieces, he could have a really good year. I don't know. It's kind of a feeling I've got, but I feel like after that last tough GMing season, I feel like with the position he'll be in and he has good IQ, good knowledge. He could put himself in a good position to have a really solid year. So I'd like to see him just turn up like he can. So that'd be cool for sure. One of the guys I was thinking about.
We're gonna add Nate Shipton. So last time he was in the league, what did he get drafted in around year mid third, I think. Um, he's playing for your guys' Swedish team, eh? He's out there playing right now.
Let's go.
So I mean, when you're playing every day, you're gonna get better. I think he said he's picked up a much more offensive role than he ever had growing up. And so he's always been a defensive minded guy. And when you add the ability to now score and be the go-to guy, I could see him impressing some guys, impressing some GMs those first two scrimmages.
Yeah, I think yeah, he was good. He subbed for when he wasn't playing his full season. He subbed for us 3 times. I like that guy.
Mhm.
He's dating my
Oh,
cousin. So
whoa,
I gotta
whoa!
welcome him to the family, dude. I gotta welcome him to the
By
fam.
putting 30 on
Maybe
his head, maybe.
maybe get like 4 blocks, maybe five.
I think
Maybe
you averaged 0.0 blocks this season.
I didn't get one.
Oh my gosh!
It's Sports Visio's fault they didn't see him.
No, they just they can't even see you on the court, dude.
I'm 6'3" and I don't think I got a single block. So
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
I think Dave, he's a GM. CGMing?
yeah.
David, yeah. He's awesome. Defensive stud. I don't know, man. I play with that guy. I played with that guy outside of this league, and he kind of cooks. So, kind of want to see him bring some of that swagger into the league, some shot making. I know he can hit threes. So I want to see that kind of translate into the league too. I think he could have a big year, especially as a GM. Just like Carter said about Conrad, depending on how these guys build their team, right, and how they want to work it and kind of build it for themselves.
David's in
I
a
was-
real nice position just because he's such a
Yeah.
great defender. And so like he can know who he's capable of handling and doesn't have to draft that role. Whereas like if I'm GM, I'm always looking for either a David or a Logan, a Greeno, a Mary. Like I need someone who can guard those top guards because I know that I can't handle that, right?
Yeah, there's a handful of guys in this league that can do that. So you got to scoop them up quick. They tend to go higher than they usually do. So it's cool when one of them is a GM. If I was a GM this season, my strategy would draft just rebounders, and then I'm shooting 80 times a game. And if we carry off my percentages, that's like 20% from three, 80 attempts. We'll probably lose, but that's fine. Let's see. I want to see JVG. I'm excited to see
Yeah,
what he
I was
has
gonna
coming
say.
back.
Yeah.
He had a pretty good year on Braden's team. They didn't win a game. They won some in the preseason, but during the regular season had a tough go of it. Had some guys leave. But I want to see what he can bring to maybe a more defined roster, kind of that point guard, that shooter. Maybe someone he can pick and roll with, like Pat or another big guy. So I'd like to see him in a different situation.
Gonna see Tim Whitehead work some magic with the draft pick so he gets Bob and John and then some young guys that they can just coach into their own roles. And yeah, that'd be an interesting squad.
Yeah,
Don't give
it'd
Tim
be-
any strategies, Kendall. Come on. I want to
Um,
see Tim. I want to see Tim's offensive game flourish this season.
That'd be nice. Kyle Mitchell also. I liked seeing his name on there.
Yeah, he was on my list too.
Yeah, he's I think he could have a breakout season for sure. I mean, it's not really like a breakout season, but you kind of just forget after someone's not there for like a year, and then he shows up and you remember how good he is. But yeah, he's a difference maker, that guy. I like him a lot. So yeah.
He's one of the few guys that I hate playing against. I don't
Yeah,
like
he's relentless when he attacks. He just keeps going offensive rebound, and he'll put it in eventually at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. I wonder where he falls. That's going to be cool.
I think if I had GM this year, my goal would have been to get Kyle and Patty to have the three of us.
Oh, man.
and try to find
jeez.
some half decent guard to match up with other teams' top guards, but just to be big bullies and beat it up inside, it would have been good fun.
Sounds horrible. Sounds like the worst nightmare.
I want to see if is Tyron playing this year?
No, he's having baby number, is it 4?
Okay,
Oh,
so
that
that's Tyron.
sucks.
He-
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say I want
he's
to see if he.
He's going to be a 6 sub though.
Yeah, he'd be a six
right?
sub. I want to see him if he can continue what he was doing this last season. He was an all-star. Keep that up. I want to
Yeah.
see what the Boone brothers can do. Get the Boones in there.
Love the Boons, man. Love the Boons.
Come
Sean's
on.
awesome, dude. Yeah.
Sean's always a solid pickup. How about Logan? See
No.
Logan get some buckets, hit more
Logan's
threes.
not having a breakout year. He's not.
I don't know. Every time he guards you, score like 8 points.
Yeah, Logan's actually unreal, dude. I think, Kate, Kendall was kind of talking about this, but like Logan could be like the guy who like falls too far because people forget what he can do. But
Yep.
also, like, nobody can forget that he guards up. Like, he's just an unreal defender.
I think he has earned that reputation at this point.
Yeah. So I don't know how far he'll actually fall, but
You guys
he
know
can-
at the end of this season, Mike Greeno won Depoy. I guess that's just the fouling award, so I'm going to try and win that one this season. I just foul a bunch. Just kidding, Mike. Mike distributed his Depoy to Logan after it was all said and done. After at the end of the award
Wow.
ceremony and stuff. So
that's kind.
Really?
yeah, so there's a lot of respect between those two. The defensive guys stick together,
Yeah.
and GMs every year someone puts together an all defense squad, and it does okay. It does
That
okay.
did pretty good last year. Made the final.
Yeah, made the finals, and yeah, I haven't seen an all defense team win a final yet, but I'd like to see someone try again. Maybe just get like one guy.
No,
who
it's
can just-
okay. You don't have to try
get
again.
buckets.
It's all right.
one guy who can get buckets. Just draft a team of all Carter stoppers.
No, I would rather not.
See, I love that because it means that the other 8 teams aren't going to have that, or the other,
Yep.
7 teams
I
aren't playing
know.
that,
Yeah.
right? So I know there's going to be one game that I hate, but the other 7 games, you know what? We're going to enjoy it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, because it's kind of tough. Like you want to take those guys, but you don't want to take them too early. So if someone else is picking them off the board, but you feel like it's too high, then that guy will get it and get the next guy in the next round. It's pretty interesting.
Yep. Cool. Well, guys, I think I'm getting close to ready to calling it. Any last thoughts? Any last things you want to bring up before we end this first edition of season 3, the panel?
Get ready for some post game interviews.
Ooh.
If
Yeah.
you show up, if you show up in a game, and you're hot. You better have some answers,
Yeah.
and don't just give us all the old, it's a team effort out there, and the guys been working hard, and we just got to play defense and limit our turnovers, and hit shots and guard the other team, and
I
don't want that.
guarantee in the moment that's going to be Cam's first interview. We're going to record it, and it's
You
gonna
think
match
I'm
this
gonna get
one.
interviewed? There's
It's
no
gonna be the
shot.
exact same thing.
Cam,
There's
you're
no
having a
sh-
season, dude. You're having a season, man. I'm excited to see.
We're gonna have to have some restrictions or some limited per appearances, right? So when you choose to no show for the post game report, there's gonna be some fines handed out, that kind of thing.
Let's go. Tack
gotta
another
go.
$50 onto your league fees.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
If you
And
wanna
I'm
get
I'm
back
just
in
gonna
the league
say
next
I'm
year.
here so I won't get fanned.
On that
Kendall,
note, though,
Go.
if there's extra things you want to bring to the league, talk to me, right? So this one, the post game, pre game interviews, Levi Friesen I mentioned a bit ago, Ezra had mentioned it. So I've talked to Ezra a little bit, just he's going to be taking on some roles, and so yeah, getting the crew building into this culture is what we need, not just top down, but you guys adding it. So we had the what do we have? The power rankings of one season. You know who you are. Bring it back. Okay. Hopefully you got time for it this year. With our, what else have we added? The one guy last year did the 2K ratings, right?
72 overall Carter.
Yeah, Carter, you sucked. If you have things that you want to bring to the league, just don't hesitate to ask. And as long as it's going to build people up and build this culture up, then I would love to add it. As we get into the season, when there's highlights, you're like, hey, this should get on the gram. This should be considered for block of the week. The more that you guys send me, the less time I have to put into those things, and the more accurate it becomes, because it's actually the full picture and not just what I saw. So do it up.
Sweet. Before we go, Kendall,
Yep.
I want to know if I'm gonna get drafted ahead of Carter.
No.
Sorry, excuse me. Shoot, I mean,
That's the first swear on the panel history, dude. You're gonna get kicked off. You're junior commish. You're held to a higher standard.
I know. I'm sure I've heard it around at some point. I'm
Cam.
sure one of the guests have let it loose. Listen, I'm just working hard to be better than Carter and get drafted above him.
If Cam gets picked before me, I'm out the league. I'm done. That's when I know I should wrap her up and hang up the shoe.
You know I'm just as good as you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I can post people up, play defense, pass.
Yeah.
You've looked great in the scrimmages, man, and you're putting in the work. Carter is not. I'm a little.
How do you know that, Kendall? How do you know I'm not putting in the work? Behind the scenes, man. Behind
We
the
can
scenes.
just see it in your eyes, dude. You just don't. It just doesn't seem like it.
I played with Cam the other day, shooting challenge. Cam lost like both times. What was it, Cam? Was it both times?
I didn't say I was better shooting than you. I just said I'm better at everything else.
Yeah.
Cool.
See, Tyron, there's no bromance on this pod. It's all just
Yeah, we hate
bro.
each other.
It's bro hate.
Yeah, bro hate, man.
Okay. All right, Carter, anything you wanna finish off with?
Yeah, we gotta do our shout outs. Shout out the terminal outside of Coaldale. Shout out that terminal, you know what I'm saying? Grain. I love grain. Shout out Alberta farmers. Shout out PepsiCo. Actually, no, PepsiCo hasn't sponsored us. Don't shout out PepsiCo. Shout out St. Mary's School. Let's go, boys. Big season ahead. Shout out my mom. I love her to death. Yeah.
Christina.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, guys. Pleasure as always.